spacecraft, and each astronaut brings a diverse set of experiences to today's flight. Building, the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Building at the Kennedy Space Center, where astronauts have been getting ready for launch, going all the way back to Apollo 7, and then in this building back to Gemini 3.
It's it's a great feeling when you walk into the room and you recognize the history that's taken place in that room. Visually, it does look different than when we use the room for shuttle. Not tremendously different, because the purpose is still the same. You're still getting into your spacesuit, making sure everything fits where it's supposed to, making sure the suit has its pressure integrity checked, and that's what they're going through right now. So this is really kind of the beginning of that buildup of excitement that's going to continue for them throughout the night.
Absolutely, and each one of the Crew 4 astronauts is in a seat that is molded exactly as it is in the spacecraft, right?
That's right. So the cushioning that you see can be changed out based on the size of each individual astronaut, and the idea is that that seat is going to cradle you through the various dynamic phases of flight. So you want it to fit you pretty well.
And you can see the SpaceX suit techs there with them, monitoring both on laptops, but then also interacting with the astronauts. Can you believe it, Megan, that you were in that room just about 1 year ago?
It's hard to believe. In some sense, it feels like it was yesterday, but in other ways, it feels like it was a lifetime ago. Yeah. But watching them go through this now definitely brings back all of those memories and those feelings from being in that room and having that excitement build.
You can see the equipment against the wall, the gray colored equipment with the dials and the switches and knobs. That's original from the shuttle and Apollo era. They left it there as kind of an homage to the era of past spaceflight.
I think that's right, and it really does, having been in there before, I'm definitely a person who appreciates history, and I think it's a nice, like you said, homage to the history of that room and the achievements that started, the day started in that room. So it's neat to still see that there. The SpaceX team, of course, runs a very efficient process. They've done this now several times, and they'll continue to improve their process and get better as they learn things from every mission. I was thinking this will be the 7th time that they've launched people on a Crew Dragon, and that may seem like a big number, but in a way it's actually still quite a small number. So we do expect to continue to learn things every single time we do it.
And we are on an increase of that pace, right?
Absolutely.
As it's really starting to pick up. Just got that commercial crew back, and the private crew that Axiom 1 just came down.
Yep.
So let's get to know Crew 4 just a little bit more. This is the 4th rotational crew to fly on a commercial spacecraft, and each astronaut brings a diverse set of experiences to today's flight. And that astronaut that you see right there sitting in the chair, let's start with him. That is Dr. Kjell Lindgren. He was born in Taipei, Taiwan, but spent most of his childhood overseas in England, which he very much appreciated. You'll hear more from him about that. He was an instructor and jump master with the U.S. Air Force Academy, and also has a doctorate in medicine, and he served as a flight surgeon for NASA. After he was chosen as an astronaut, Lindgren flew on Soyuz and spent 141 days in space during Expedition 44 and 45. He has a wife and 3 children, and today, Megan, he is the commander of Crew Dragon.
That's right. He is going to make an outstanding commander. He's a wonderful, talented person, obviously experienced at living and working in space, but also just a really good human. He's going to be looking out for his crewmates.
In 3 hours, 45 minutes. The side hatch is now open, and we are on schedule.
And they're very lucky to have him as their leader.
Up next is fellow airman Bob Hines. There he is with his visor open, communicating with his suit tech. He was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He has a wife and 3 daughters. He has a Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering and served 21 years in the U.S. Air Force as a test pilot. He was also a fighter pilot. He flew the F-15E. He came to NASA as a research pilot, where he flew science missions in our WB-57. Today, he's going into space for the very first time as the pilot for NASA SpaceX's Crew 4. Megan, you were the pilot. for Crew 2. It's a position you know well.
That's right. It's an extremely important role, Daryl, as I'm sure you know.
Of course, because you did it.
I first got to interact actually with Bob when he was an instructor pilot for T-38 for the astronaut corps. And so flying with him was always a pleasure. He's always calm and collected no matter what the circumstances, which is exactly the person that you want piloting any vehicle that you're in. And they're going to make a great team today.
He did look quite calm in that shot, quite steady. This guy has flown so many aircraft, and we'll hear more about that in his bio a little bit later on. Now let's introduce you to the two mission specialists, Jessica Watkins, and there she is, looking calm and collected and not moving very much, but very focused, I imagine. She considers Lafayette, Colorado, her hometown. A talented rugby player in college. Her team won the national championship in 2008 when she was with her university. I believe it was Sanford. Watkins was a postdoctoral fellow in the Division of Geological and Planetary Sciences at the California Institute of Technology. She completed several internships with NASA, including one testing system designs for the Mars Perseverance mission at JPL. She became an astronaut in 2017, a turtle. We'll talk more about that. And now, just like Bob, she's going into space for the very first time. This is a brand new experience for her.
Yep, it's a bit of a turtle takeover, I think, is what we're experiencing on Space Station right now. But Jessica is an outstanding crew member. It's been fun to get to know her since she arrived with her classmates. Just tremendous amount of knowledge that she brings. Can be very focused and serious on the task at hand, but boy, when she smiles, it really lights up the room. I think this crew is going to have a lot of fun together.
It sure does. And as she motions towards her suit, calling over the suit tech, what are you communicating with them about?
So it depends a little bit. They're going to be asking you how things fit, how they feel, how you can hear, if you're having any problems with the communications system, as well as with the cooling system. So there's a variety of things that they could be checking at this point.
The second mission specialist is Samantha Cristoforetti. She was born in Milan, Italy, but now lives in Cologne, Germany with her partner and two children. In 2006, she earned her fighter pilot wings and flew the AMX attack fighter at a base in Italy. In 2013, Cristoforetti launched into space aboard a Soyuz for a long-duration space flight to the International Space Station, so she has quite a bit of experience aboard station. Several years later, she was awarded the Knight Grand Cross of the Order of Merit from the President of Italy, and today she returns to space and the space station with Crew 4.
Another very impressive resume, but also really just a great person to be around. So they're going to really work well together. They've gotten to spend several months together training and getting to know one another. And I think this mix of experience and skills is going to blend really well and make for a successful crew.
We've got a couple astronauts standing up, and you can see they're still attached to a blue box that's sitting there right next to their seat. What is that, Megan, and what purpose does it serve?
That blue box is providing cooling air for them as they're moving around. You can get quite warm in that suit, and so they're sort of preemptively making sure that the crew members are not going to get overheated during this wait time.
And each of these 4 crew members will be part of Expedition 67 once they arrive at the International Space Station, getting some final fit checks there for Chell, as his suit tech is taking care of it, making sure there's, as you said, Megan, no hot spots. Want to be comfortable when you're getting ready to launch. So now let's check in with our team monitoring preparations for launch at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. We're going to NASA's Dan Hewitt and SpaceX's Jesse Anderson. Take it away.
Hey, thanks, Daryl, and hi, everybody. Good evening.